Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's GeneralTarheel here, coach of the Charizards, bringing you the APA Season 3 Week 3 battle versus Coach 6-Foot Hacks or Leo and the Durham Druddigons. Now, coming into Week 3, we did pick up a win last week against Coach LynxForte and the Chelsea Cloysters. Make sure to check that out if you haven't yet. Just another quick reminder, my mic is currently not working, so I am using my laptop mic. Hopefully it will be fixed by next week. I just want to apologize for every video for the quality, because I do want it to be better, but as for now, this is what I have to deal with. Now, as for Leo, make sure to check out the team builder that I put up versus him yesterday if you have not seen it yet, so you know what I'm bringing. Basically, it's just a Scarf offensive Lando, 3 attacks versus Mega Charizard X, Max Spadef Toxapex, AV Spadef Eel, offensive mixed Greninja with Kung Shot, and then a defensively bulky Gourgeist. When I saw the 6 that Leo brought in Rotom Heat, Swellow, Tangrowth, Primarina, Donphan, and Tauros, I was only surprised about, actually not really too much I was surprised about. I was really surprised not to see Diggersby, because Diggersby, in my opinion, just really destroyed my team, because it does get the coverage or everything and whatnot, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't bring it. Also, since I was expecting a Scarfer, I was, when I was looking at the matchup, I was expecting it to be Tauros, so I'm kind of surprised he decided that over Scarf Mean Shadow. But I can understand why, because of Togekiss and Toxapex basically walling it. It's just Mean Shadow can just do a lot of damage anyways, and it gives U-turn momentum, which would be helpful for him to get in Swellow a lot. As for that, I was of course expecting the Boomburst, Swellow. Tangrowth was definitely going to be AV along with defensive Donphan. Primarina, I had to scout whether that was Specs or Kebia or another set. Rotom Heat, I wasn't sure what he was going to bring on this, because Rotom can be a lot of sets. So at the start of the match, I definitely just wanted to lead my Lando, because depending on his lead, I can 1, either get up rocks, or 2, just get on U-turn momentum, or just go for an attack if it's Swellow. But yeah, getting U-turn momentum would be nice. If it's Elite Donphan, I do get to scout if it's Rocky Helmet, and get to break it sturdy, just things like that. So as I decided to lead off with Lando here to kick off the battle, as we do take on Leodan, such a scary trainer, but I knew I was going to be so happy this battle. Like, it was just going to be a fun battle, because, yeah, someone you look up to in Draft League and whatnot, and you get to battle, and this is just so cool. So he sends out Rotom to start off the game. He can't risk me being offensive Scarf and going for Stone Edge and just knocking out his Rotom Heat. So I know he's going to switch out here, and if he doesn't, he goes right into Bar Ice. So I need a U-turn here no matter what. As he will just opt to go into the Donphan, which I was expecting, considering that allowed him to just get up his rocks early if I opted to go for rocks on my own. So as I go for the U-turn here, I can just go ahead and go right to Greninja, already pressuring his team. Now there is no way he stays in with Donphan here. It is his counter to Lando and Mega Charizard X, and it is his Stealth Rocker. So he will switch out here 1,000,000%, and he will go into Tangrowth. I knew this was going to happen, so I do click Gunk Shot. This is basically ensuring my 2 KO and pressuring his entire team. I see that as a 2-shot, but unfortunately for him, we do also get a poison. Now this does harm him just a little bit, because it does put him in Ice Beam range, meaning I don't have to click Gunk Shot again and risk missing. There is a chance he still could have worked around this and pivoted with his Pokemon, but basically Greninja got a 2-shot on anything on his team. And he would just have to risk getting Tangrowth in on a move that wasn't Ice Beam or Gunk Shot versus me. So we just take out the Tangrowth, and now Gren is free to, just be even more of a nuisance. Swellow does come out here. I'm going to go right into my Toxapex. We should live to Boomburst. He does not have Stealth Rocks up. As he goes for the first Boomburst, we will see it does just about 50%. As we do get my Black Sludge recovery, he should not kill me from where I'm at, so I'm really going to go for the knockoff here and get rid of its annoying Choice Specs. So this is much easier to deal with now, and I just get to pivot out my Toxapex and go into Electros, which can easily come in on this Mon. As we make that play, he will, of course, know I'm just trying to get my regen, so he will just opt to go for the U-turn with his Swellow, which is very clever. And now he does decide to go into Rotom Heat here, which is very smart. He can't risk Donphan because I could have Giga Drain. He might also not even have coverage in order to hurt Eel too much. As he shows he has a substitute, which is interesting. So I was figuring at this point that it might be that substitute Charge Beam set that he brought before with Hidden Power of Fire. But luckily, if we spam Knockoff, we will always break his sub, showing he's not a like max bulky Rotom. He's more speed and probably special attack with maybe some HP. As I will just go for Knockoff again. Not really being a problem, because even if this Rotom is behind sub, it's not doing anything to Eel. It really isn't. So I'm just going to stay in here and not let it get its stupid sub up, as he just goes for the Hidden Power. Does show to be Hidden Power Fire. I will just go for the Knockoff here, taking out his lefties, as he will just opt to go for the Discharge here on my Eel, just getting off whatever damage he can, I guess. I will go for the Drain Punch, hoping this was going to kill, but it was just shy, which is really unfortunate. And now he just gets to do what the most annoying thing a Rotom can do, and that's Pain Split. As he goes for the Pain Split, he gets right back up to like half or 55%. As I just opted to go for the U-turn, so now my Eel is really low, which is pretty unfortunate. That was smart on his part, but there was nothing I could really do about it. But now I just get to go into Greninja. And right here, I believe I opted to just click Hydro Pump, because I did have Water Shuriken, but there was a chance I didn't kill. I needed to get all 3 hits, I believe, so if I got 2, I wouldn't have killed the Rotom. And Hydro Pump is also a better check to the damage on Primarina on switching, which he does opt to do. Now, he would not switch into this thing unless he was Kebia or Scarf, so I do have to check for either of those. So I'm just going to go right into Toxapex here on the incoming Moonblast. Now, coming in on this Moonblast just allows me to get the regen health that I needed, and then I also am allowed to pivot out immediately right here to scout if he's going to go for the Psychic right afterwards. Now, I do opt to go into my Lando here, because it really does just counter anything he does want to switch into, which is most likely the Rotom Heat, which just basically gives me a Stone Edge or U-turn momentum. But he does just go for the Psychic, showing he is not a Choice Scarf set. So as he goes into Donphan here, I just once again clicked U-turn, just going for the momentum. This would have just allowed me to get either Greninja or Toxapex really back in. But at this point, I kind of knew that Primarina was going to be Kepiberry. So I will just go into Gren here versus Donphan. I'm just going to click Ice Beam. This is a for sure kill, and it for sure hits anything on switching, unlike Hydro Pump. As we do just grab the Donphan and he goes down. So Greninja once again busted through team's defensive walls. And he will just have to go into Primarina here. Now I know he has Kepiberry, but I'm going to go for a Gunk Shot because this thing is just hard for me to switch into. And is more ideal for me just to get damage off, I feel like. Because I don't really need Gren for anything else, considering Swellow outspeeds. And Tauros I know is most likely going to be Scarf. As he does show the Kepiberry there, he will just opt to go for the Moonblast. There was also a chance he was going to go for this Psychic on my Toxapex switch-in possibility, so I just felt like it's fine. I just want to get the damage off and make sure I can just deal with this Prem. Now I'm just going to go into my Mega Charizard because nothing switches into this thing, and he's giving me a Pokemon if he does, basically. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve here and click a T-Punch versus this Primarina. I believe Flare Blitz might have killed from this range, but it depended on its investment, which I don't remember based off of the Gunk Shot damage. So we will just go for the Thunder Punch, get up that kill for Charizard. Now as he goes into Tauros here, I'm just going to go into my Gourgeist, as he makes a very nice double, going right back into Swellow. But this is perfectly fine, because this Swellow does not have Choice Specs. It is much easier for me to switch into at this point. So I do make the Gourgeist play, and you will just have Swellow out. Gourgeist is such an amazing shiny, by the way. It's just really nice. So I will just switch out into my Toxapex here, as I freely do take on this Swellow. Boomburst will not two-shot me from where I am at. And even then, he just opts to go for the U-turn, which is smart, because now he's allowed to get in his Rotom. As he does go into the Rotom here, there is two plays, two reasonings behind my play right here. One, I want to get rid of any annoying sub he could go for. 2, Discharge does not kill me. 3, Pain Split would be annoying if he went for that. And I already mentioned sub, or yeah, no, 4 is just Hidden Power, it's whatever. So my best play was just to click Scald, because I could just get regen and bring an Eel versus thing if I really needed to. And this just once again put me in a great spot to where I can just click Scald again. So as he does go for the Pain Split, I will just click Scald again with Toxapex. It will not kill him, but it will put him in a good enough range. And at this point I am in discharge range, so I do need to go into Electros right here. And this also gives me the regen and Toxapex to where I am not too shot by Swellow on switching. As it goes for discharge, that does absolutely nothing. And once again, he will just continue being an annoying Rotom and just going for Pain Split. Pain Split's just one of those moves that's just so annoying. We will go for Drain Punch, and of course we are just shy of knocking him out. But this really does just force him to go for Pain Split again to see if he could still be out of range. He was like 2 health points away from being out of range again if it was like the same roll, considering I was at 51 the first time. But we do get off the Drain Punch, and the Rotom does just go down right here. Now he will opt to go into Swellow here. Now there is a chance I could have went into Toxapex and save differential here, but I'd really rather just play it safe and get Toxapex in just so I don't risk getting Boomburst crit on switch in. So as I go into Toxapex here, I do realize I'm actually at a good enough health where Boomburst crit and Boomburst might not even knock me out. So as he goes for the Boomburst, good amount of damage. The Curt would definitely take me out at this point. Okay, so I just opted to go for the Scald because I knew the health I was at, and weakening this Swellow is of my priority. So I will just basically be recovering that versus Swellow at this point. If he wants to make this switch into Tauros at any point, that's perfectly fine because I do still have Gourgeist in the back. As he goes for the Boomburst, like I mentioned, I am just going to be recovering up right here. I lose nothing from it. And as he will click it one more time, I will just click recover one more time, and I believe I will pick up the kill directly afterwards. And then he goes Boomburst, and I do just recover one last time. I'm just playing it safe just to ensure that I can get this 4-0 that's definitely in my favor as of right now. And here he clicks his last Boomburst as Toxapex will just click Scald and knock out the Swellow. So all he has left is Tauros. I'm positive it's Scarf, but since there is a chance that it could be Life Orb, I just wanted to click knock off with Toxapex here because a Life Orb set could be annoying, and also at that point, if he was Choice Scarf, by clicking knock off, it does allow my Landorus to outspeed this Tauros if he was Scarf. So I just felt like it was a fair play, even though this does allow him to switch up his moves now. Toxapex does live any hit right here, so I'm just going to go free Scald. And since he is Scarf, Earthquake is not going to be doing as much as if he was a Life Orb variant. And my Gourgeist freely switches into this Tauros after. I even do have the Yachi Berry for his Ice Beams will be taking me down a little bit more. I really doubt he has the Fire Blast, so that just makes my Gourgeist all the more reason to switch in right here. As he does opt to go for the Body Slam right here, which was smart in case I opted to switch into my Landorus. But right here, Gourgeist can just click Seed Bomb twice and take out this Tauros. As he goes for the Ice Beam, that does absolutely nothing, which is ridiculous. And as we go for the Seed Bomb, we take down the Tauros 2 red, and one more will easily pick up the kill, as the only play for him right now is getting an Ice Beam freeze, of course, which he does not get. And we just click Seed Bomb with Gourgeist and get the final kill of the game. So as we picked up a 4-0 win versus Leo in 6-foot X, which is awesome. This was very hyped to me. One, in the first place, being able to play 6-foot ads. Thank you so much for joining APA and whatnot. It was very awesome. And to just able to get a win versus a man like this is kind of crazy. It's honestly awesome. So props to Leo for having good sets in what he played. The poison on Tangrowth did kind of hinder him a little bit. Basically, it just came down to me freely clicking Nice Beam and whatnot. Greninja is just a major threat versus team in the first place. I did have good counters to his team defensively, basically, so the matchup was in my favor. The win was more so expected, like on book, but of course Leo was such an amazing battler in the first place that anything could happen, and I was really happy to pick up this 4-0, because divisions are tough, and I definitely want to pick up as much W's as I can this season. So we might be seeing Leo in playoffs anyways, so that could be a thing. But anyways, that'll be it for this week of the APA. Make sure to check out my P4G if you haven't. SDL is on a bye as of next week, but I'm going to have it be a bye this week, and I'm just going to upload for next week. So that'll be it from me this week. Make sure to sub, like, share, deuces.